Hello, my name is Danielle Henderson, and today I will be doing my project about virtual field trips. Many people ask this question: what are virtual field trips? Well, virtual field trips are wonderful ways to teach and learn about the outside world by browsing the internet inside of your classroom without having to open a door. Before making your PowerPoint presentation, choose a subject that is relevant. Do a lot of research on what you are trying to talk about. It could be about math, it could be about a destination. Just choose something relevant and have a lot of information about that topic. And whenever you are making your slides, make sure it's appealing to your audience. And so I'll say use some like bright colors and use like graphics and audios that can make the crowd go wow whenever whenever you are trying to show your presentation. Okay, now we have talked about um, a relevant subject. We have talked about appealing the audience. Now we need to see what is age appropriate. Use things that is not too much for your age group. Okay. Um, use like for instance, if there is a child or something, a younger child, I would say use a lot of bright colors and use a lot of graphics. But if it's like an older age group, it's kind of good like for you just to keep it simple. Okay, and so next I would like to talk about um, whenever you have all your information together, your graphics and your images that are appealing, is it age appropriate? Now we have to talk about is does your information does it have enough supporting your topic? Make sure you don't want to just have little details about what you are talking about. It needs to have a lot of information and straight to the point to what you are trying to teach your children. All right, now the next thing that we want to talk about into planning your virtual field trip, make sure that your navigation is as simple as possible. That is just one click. That way, it can save you the hassle on um, trying to have like a lot of things cluttered up. If you can just have one link, create a URL, and then that link, and then just make it easier for it to click, that'd be easier. So just make it simple as possible. Okay. And another thing, let's talk about the enhance with images, audio, and colors. Okay. Choose some images and create. You have to make it your scenery as if the children are there. So I would show a lot of images and pictures and audios and little clips of in the inside. You can choose YouTube links and then you can put in your presentation as showing different people going to that destination, or you can if you're talking about math or something like that, you can have different YouTube links about how people came up with solving the answer in different ways. There's lots of different ways that you can use this by enhancing by enhancing your presentation. The usage, well, how can teachers use this inside the classroom? Well, the teachers just will allow the students, to use a computer to travel to other places in the world. Let's say they're trying to see the Eiffel Tower. You know, you can have links for the children to go to, and having tours on the Eiffel Tower. You can have make sure that it's great websites that contain appropriate images and videos and virtual tours. Okay. Not only you can just having the children surf the web for themselves, you can also have, if you have a projector or some such, you can just have you can have at the same time have the children gathered up, and if you have that projector you can just click on it yourself by searching the web for all the children to see. um, Another thing I would like to talk about is where can the links take you? There are just thousands of links out there for virtual trips online. Students can take virtual trips outside the world, and you can take virtual field trips outside the world. You can go to the solar system, continents, Antarctica. Hey, you can do forums. You know, this have amazing, to me, this is amazing graphics and features, and it makes a lot of these virtual field trip links, it makes it like you are actually there, and it's a lot of learning experience, and it's great, and they just make it fun.
At our school, at Charter Learning Center, we really promote science being inquiry, and inquiry not existing in an isolated vacuum, however, existing within a community and forming a dialogue between other scientists. Video conferencing with an organization like Video has an opportunity to really break down barriers of education and really change the future of education in a way that was never thought possible 10 or 20 years ago. During our interactive virtual field trip, in the beginning the kids were just so enamored by the fact that they had a guest educator who was actually on camera. That was a brand new experience for them. They were so engaged, so full of life because of that. Eventually, the learners and myself formed a relationship with Mark as another educator off-site, knowing that he was a science educator teaching us a lesson in Denver. But at a point, I think the monitor kind of disappeared, and it was almost as if he was in our classroom as one of us.
The red blood cells will transport oxygen from our lungs, from the respiratory system, through our body, delivers it to our muscles.
The kids really engaged with the multi-dimensional aspects of the lesson. I thought they really related to Mark, and I thought they were really excited about just having a brand new, fresh approach to learning that they've never experienced before. All around, they engaged with the technology, the iPad, seeing a heart being dissected in front of their eyes, also seeing a heart on an iPad right in front of them was really multidimensional and accessible and interactive for the students in a completely new way that they've never experienced school before.
What I really liked about today's virtual field trip is probably the heart dissection. Overall, it actually taught me a lot about how the heart works, because I've actually never seen anything like that before.
Usually we have to imagine what it looks like, but today we actually got to see the real thing.
Most of the stuff I learned I never knew. I learned about the different blood cells, the veins and arteries.
I like the virtual field trip better than a regular field trip because I could focus better.
With video conferencing, with video, we would have access to creating dialogues with other communities, with other school communities, working on social justice issues with renewable resources, talking about energy, and talking about ecology, and really the sky's the limit.
I hope that you learned a lot from that video. It was very interesting. Now let's talk about the pros and the cons, which means the good and the bad about virtual field trips. Well, one thing that's good is that it is a lot less planning required for this type of field trip. And what I mean by that I'm saying that you don't have to call in and make reservations and to see what day is best for your class to go on that field trip. It's less the hassle. You don't have to worry about that because all you have to do is go on the internet, find out what you need that is relevant for the topic that you are teaching. It's cheaper, and the majority of the time it's free. That's a definite right there, because whenever you have field trips, you have to have some type of money, and it costs a lot for that gas money, and also for visiting museums and such. The next thing I would like to talk about is how the trip allows the teachers to enhance the lesson and to increase the students' attention. You can increase the students' attention by using, different sounds, visuals, by using like a lot of images, and you can use a lot of color, something that's going to catch the children's minds and eyes and for them to learn. And that's pretty good right there. You really want that for your virtual field trip. The next thing I would like to talk about is how another good thing about virtual field trips is how students can move at their own pace. You don't have to worry about, having that time that you got to get out of a museum or something of that. You can let the children have its own time of looking at the links and looking at whatever he or she is studying, and it gives them a lot of time on learning about that subject. The cons, the bad things. I can only come up with 3, and one of those are being like less interactive. Some websites are less interactive in the subject, so you got to stay on a watch for that. You want a website that's going to give out a lot of information. The next thing I would like to talk about is about how some students they don't have computers at home, so it's hard for them for using computers, their computer usage. So that'll be hard for them to like really catch on. The next thing I would like to talk about is how some websites doesn't provide enough information for the students to learn. We don't want any websites like that, and there's a lot of websites that really do not have a lot of information. So before you show your class about virtual field trips, you want to see does it provide a lot of information about the subject that you are teaching. Virtual field trips versus physical field trips. Field trips have a traditional part of the school, and it's been around for a long time. And a lot of people ask, which one is better, a virtual field trip or a physical field trip? Well, both times you are going to study about the culture, and you're learning in school, and people are used to just going firsthand, going to the galleries and such. You can do that right at your computer. So since both of these, you can look at many sites and visuals, and since you're doing both of those, I think both methods are great because they expose the children to many ideas, and it both have their own benefits and advantages. Tips for a perfect virtual field trip. Now, you can also make your own virtual field trip if you would like. One thing that is very important is appealing your audience. You want to show a lot of color, not a lot, but just enough color and just the right color to use, a lot of visual images, and that can catch the eye, that cannot bore them. The next thing that is very important is finding a website that's relevant, and that can very much well help also with finding a website that can kind of help you, and that's very big. Another thing I would like to let you know is very important is creating excitement for your class. And show something that's gonna make them go, wow, you know, a 3D clip or something like that. That would be excellent. Um, a big tip, make navigation possible, make it easy as possible, make it simple by just one click, and just make it super easy. Another thing is add a lot to graphics, like I was talking about a while ago. You want to catch the attention, and you want to get the crowd involved, and you want to have that class paying attention to the video to learn more. And another thing, never overdo your project. Never do that. Never have too much color, and just sometimes you can go over the top. Just do what you need to do. Keep it simple, and just don't go over too much. And this is my virtual field trip presentation. Thank you, guys. And if you are wondering where I got this information from, here are my sources.